Jimmy Snuka looks down on the way to the ring, and within moments of entering, a fight nearly breaks out, causing commotion, with Pat Patterson trying to keep things under control, while Mr. T looks like me in the morning with his hood up. Hulk Hogan rips off Mr. T's vest as if it were his own, which seemed completely unnecessary, but never mind. Piper swats a rolled up piece of paper with sniper-like accuracy that was launched at him from the crowd away. Mr. T looks to be building in intensity by the second. Ali has made the outside referee to stop any shenanigans between Orton and Snuka, which feels almost guaranteed at this point. Orton's hat nearly comes off during pre-match lockups, and Liberace rings the bell to start the match. And I totally can't see the bell hidden under the apron, and it's being operated by a string. A bell that emits that level of volume needs to be way bigger than the tiny one Liberace's holding. The first few minutes are mostly posturing and storytelling, while Orndorff taking it to Piper and Mr. T kicking up a stone on the apron to get his spot. Hogan pretends not to hear him for a little while, and the audience goes absolutely nuts to get Mr. T into the ring. T gets a tag and enters. Piper and T posture a lot and trade slaps before Piper absolutely rocks him on the floor. They both return to their feet, and both men go to their respective corners to consult their partners on strategy. It's worth pointing out that Mr. T has legitimate martial arts experience prior to this, being a scholastic wrestling champion. He also idolised Muhammad Ali, so all this happening at once must have been absolutely incredible for him. T pulls a fireman's carry and slams him down Wade Barrett style before Piper charges him into the corner, where they both get equally beaten up by Piper and Orndorff. Hogan comes in for some action, and Ali climbs into the ring. Orton climbs into the ring. Pat Patterson looks like he has no idea how to regain control, and Orton takes his hat off and starts to gesture, but no one pays attention. Snuka climbs up to the top rope very slowly, but doesn't do anything once he gets there. Ali lands a couple of punches on Piper, who flies through the ropes to the outside. Ali then takes Orton off the apron and tries to hit him before threatening him about getting involved. Given that Ali has never refereed before, that I know of, and he's doing considerably better than Patterson at this point, I question if in storyline Pat Patterson's wondering about his job security. Orton mutters some stuff to himself as he's on the outside, and nobody knows what's happening. Billy Martin looks like he's having the time of his life. Piper says fuck it and gestures that the audience can get it up them. Patterson starts counting while Ali looks furious. He gets to 9 before Hogan threatens them and begs for them to return. Piper comes back with the others, looking like he's just done about 8 lines before they all get back in, and anarchy breaks out once again. T pulls a sneaky eye rake on Orndorff that goes completely unnoticed by everybody before using Orndorff and Piper's heads as coconuts and smashing them together. A sentiment that Piper will already be familiar with. Actual organised wrestling resumes for about 2 seconds before Orndorff runs in again. Hogan pulls another double coconut before hitting an atomic drop on Piper that leaves him falling to his knees. Monsoon says holy mackerel for about the 50th time in the past 3 minutes, probably because what he really wants to say is far more vulgar than what he was allowed at the time. Orndorff gets in again before Hogan and Piper start to trade eye rakes because what the heck are the rules at this point? A tag to Mr. T sees Piper flying into the air, shades of Marvin the First Home Alone movie, where he stands on some marbles. Mr. T does the business on everybody in sight before Hogan volunteers his knee as a weapon for T's use, which he uses immediately before taking him back in. Hogan boots Piper over the top rope like it's a Royal Rumble, years before the Royal Rumble was invented. Here comes Orndorff to backstab for a 4th time, for those keeping count. Mr. T has no idea if he should get in the ring or go to the outside, as there's basically chaos everywhere. Piper cracks Hogan with a chair before Ali chases him, with Patterson trying to hold Mr. T in the ring. Orndorff continues to avenge Rocky Balboa by attacking Thunderlips, and Ali shoves him back into the ring despite that being physically impossible over the ropes. But it was all kind of fast, so whatever. Orndorff's count reaches 5, and at this rate it will be about 800 before the match is out. Orton clubbers Hogan with his cast, but everyone's paying attention to Piper trying to brawl with Mr. T over the ropes as Ali closes in on them. Mr. T says, fuck it, chucks a Yui, and launches himself at Piper and starts wrestling with Pat Patterson, who's trying to restrain him. As Mr. T wrestles free, Piper knees him in the side, sending them away into the centre of the ring. Ali gets in and threatens Piper before heading back to ringside. All while Orndorff is giving Hogan the workings, like a nice suplex, and takes Piper in again, who walks over Hogan while Mr. T sneaks into the ring like you did as a kid towards the cookie jar, only for Patterson to catch him and tell him to shove off. Mr. T spends the next several minutes constantly putting one leg through the ropes before retreating again. He eventually gets a tag and comes running in, dishing out eye rakes while going balls to the wall. Piper comes in and attacks him from behind, to which Monsoon uses the Pearl Harbor line for the 4th time. Piper tags in, but nobody sees it, and continues to lay into Mr. T while Ali stands on the apron and watches. Hogan tags in, and Orndorff runs in for the 5th time, and Hogan pulls another double coconut. He now has sufficient ingredients to make himself one chocolate bounty. Piper tries to get back in since he tagged out at some point. Orton gets in and throws a cast at him. Snooker comes in and headbutts Orton because why not at this point? Everyone is in the ring, chaos is everywhere, and Orton climbs the top rope to bonk Hogan on the head with his cast but catches Orndorff instead. Hogan makes a pin and slams the ring floor to get the referee's attention that the finish is ready and the 3 count is made. And everyone can go home now. Hogan celebrates while everyone else just stands around. Someone in the audience throws an orange bag that cloaks Mr. T in the shoulder, but the man is such a tank he doesn't even notice. Piper floors Patterson and again gestures that the audience can get it up them before storming out in a rage. It's worth mentioning that Mr. T would take a bow to the audience before leaving, and it appears that he's very humble about being there. Given that he was a celebrity figure of the main event, to still treat people this way is evidence that Mr. T was not thinking he was above everyone else, but that he was fortunate to receive this opportunity, this chance in pro wrestling, and he was grateful for it. Meaner Gina's backstage with Hogan and his fellow winners. Mr. T doesn't look up once as he's talking and says that he took it seriously and that there are no wimps in pro wrestling before saying it's rough out there 3 times. Mean Gene turns to Hogan, who immediately does his "well, let me tell you something, brother" thing. And then Snooker says what's important is that they came out victorious. Everyone thanks everyone else, and we head back to ringside, where just about everyone in attendance has gone home. Monsoon thanks everyone for watching, and Ventura expresses his interest in seeing Piper and Orndorff come back again. Monsoon says goodbye, and we get some upbeat 80s music to see out the credits.